Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. Let's have a look at the new limited time mission for Origami. And then gimmicks here are laser barriers, warps, and damage walls. We want to address the warps more than anything, so we'll bring guys with a null warp. And then as we can see, each character has an individual life bar, which is represented by their individual life totals, of course. And so, yeah, I'll come to that later. Next I'll talk about these little Thunder God guys. They have attacks that are pretty strong, and they are also homing, so there's no way to avoid them. So HP management is going to be difficult for this mission. Okay, second stage. So, right, Thunder God down there. Bottom right-hand corner is a damage wall robot. If we're worried about damage walls, we can get rid of him first. Although they are not too big. They're only sectional, and they don't cover too much area. The guys that we really want to be worried about are the stars there on the left side. They have a very large range explosion, which will do a lot of damage to our guys. So we want to either take them down immediately, or we want to stay away from them. And we need to be very far away from them to not take damage. So it's a better idea to just take them down. Okay, we're able to do that. And this might give me a chance to talk about my team. First I'm using Daikokuten. He's got the Null Warp and is a bounce. And then I'm using them for their bump combo, the Chain Lightning. Because it does a lot of damage to little guys, and of course we want to take down the little guys as much as possible. As quickly as possible. And then here we see a new enemy, and that is the Angel. And they don't do... they're not that big of a deal, so we can leave them, and then go after the little Thunder God guys first. And of course we want to beat each stage with as close to full hit points as we like. So that we'll be in better shape for the next mission. And then next we'll take advantage of a Cubide's Recovery S to hit all of our guys and then restore some hit points. And you might have seen, but there was some numbers on the sides of the stage. That means lasers that will come from off the screen. So we want to stay out of that area as well. Okay, first mini-boss stage. So here is Origami, and first order of business here I would say is to get rid of the stars, just because they have such a big ranged attack that does a lot of damage. So there we got a lot of good bump combos in Origami. And then as we can see, she has some kind of small laser barriers around her. Those come from the cranes, the folded cranes around her. Which are kind of like drones or shields. If we hit them enough times, they'll break, and then we can use laser bump combos on the mini-boss. Okay, so that went pretty well. And then I think this is the last stage before the boss. So we'll... you can do one of two things. You can use your guys to take down the star down there first, or you can move everybody to the top half of the screen, maybe top third of the screen to be extra safe. In order to get away from that explosion attack. And then we'll just focus on the mini Thunder Gods up here. Okay, so here we saw Avalon's HP go to 0, and so she has a little ghost icon. And then what that does, it lowers her speed and attack. She can't use bump combos or strike shots, and loses her abilities as well. So all she can do, she can move, she can set off other people's bump combos, and then grab hearts. That's about all she can do. Or hit healing walls. Alright, but we hit her with Cubide, so we restored her hit points, and then so she is back to her normal state. What also happens when you enter that ghost state is that your strike shot count is increased. So it can be a good idea to, kind of proactively use your strike shots when they are built up, because you never know when you're going to be taken down and then lose that ability to use the strike shot. Okay, here comes the boss. Alright, so same deal here as always. The damage wall robot and then the angels are not that big of a deal, so we can save them. And then what we want to do is do damage to the boss, and then try to take down the little cranes around her. Alright, to continue talking about my team, next I'm using Avalon, and she is a Pierce with null damage wall and null warp, so she addresses the gimmicks pretty well. And then she has a tackle strike shot, which takes away half of her hit points. And this is kind of useful actually for this mission, because she only takes away hit points from herself. That means that it does much less damage, but it can be good to get rid of a specific mob, if that's what you're looking for. And then another really good reason to use Avalon is for her bump combo, which is a very good damage source. Okay, so there we saw Cubide, HP down to 0, so she is in a ghost status now. I can't really do anything about that this turn, so we will just focus on the boss. Okay, so Cubide, all she can do this turn really is to activate other people's bump combos. And then I guess I'll talk about my last character, and that is Rip'n Reaper Jack from the last Halloween event. He is a Pierce with Null Warp. And then he also has a Recovery S, so he's a good partner with Cubide to keep my HP up. And then he has a Null Everything Strike Shot, which does increased damage and speed. And then here I see Origami is going to do an ultimate attack next, so we'll go ahead and use Rip'n Reaper Jack's Strike Shot to clear the stage. And then we'll grab a Gold Heart to give all of our guys HP. And then I should say that if you beat a stage, of course you get half of the HP back, half of the HP that you've lost. However, if you beat a stage in a ghost state, you will remain in the ghost state for the next mission. So it's very worth to kind of stall and get everybody some hit points before going to the next stage. Alright, here is the second boss stage. And this one's probably the easiest. There is only the Origami boss and then the lasers that come out the sides at the bottom of the stage. And there are also no cranes around Origami, so we can just start doing damage to her immediately. However, she does shoot that big vertical laser up, so we'll stay away from the top of Origami. But then we're also going to want to stay away from the bottom of Origami because of the lasers coming out. Alright, but I think we can end the stage here. Yeah. Not quite, okay. Alright, and then let's use Cubide's recovery to get some hit points back. And then it works the same as recovery when you normally do it in a stage, where the first hit restores some hit points, second hit restores more hit points, and then the third hit restores the most. So if you had a particular character that you wanted to restore more hit points to, you would want to hit them last in this stage. Okay, let's use Avalon's Strike Shot. We will get rid of the little Thunder God guy. So that's one less thing to worry about. And then we will focus our attacks on the boss. And again, she has the 3 folding cranes around her, so we'll have to get rid of those first. Although some bump combos will go through. They'll be like piercing bump combos, like Avalon Slice and Dice, or Daikokuten's Chain Lightning, or Cubide's Lock-On Pierce Wave. Okay, so there was Daikokuten's Strike Shot. We got rid of a couple of the cranes, so that was good. And then here she summoned some star guys. But Origami is so close to being defeated that we can ignore them. So we'll use a Cubide's Command Strike Shot, and then do some good damage. And then this last attack should do it. We'll grab the heart just in case. And there it goes. And we got the speed clear. Alright, so that was Origami. And a very unique quest, and I would say also a very difficult quest. And then the things you want from your party members, I would say the most important thing is damage output. So strong bump combos in particular. And then maybe you would want null warp. And then maybe a little bit less important, but still important, is the recovery bump combo, or recovery ability. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful. And then I'm sure I've missed some things to talk about the mission. There's lots of things to pay attention to. I'll put up another video later of a all Hatcher team. Alright, thanks for watching. Take care.